Welcome to the Game of Thrones podcast, the officially unofficial podcast for Game of Thrones on HBO. I'm Jim,
And I'm Aaron.
and we just watched season 7, episode 1, titled Dragonstone. Aaron, what'd you think? It's back.
It's back. I liked it. So I want to say a couple things. Number one, it started with a bang. Arya slaughtering the entire Frey family, which is, I think, confirmation of like at least the result of where we thought if you're a book reader, the Grand Northern Conspiracy was going. Kind of like the fast forward, streamlined Cliff Notes edition.
Okay.
I like seeing Dany regain her ancestral homeland. Um, I'm a little worried about Sansa. Learning a lot from Cersei. What did she learn?
Probably not all good things, I'm going to guess.
I thought it's interesting that the Lord of the Lights already is whispering into the Hound's ears. So that's what I think. And I got a couple other comments, obviously. What did you think?
I thought it was a solid beginning to the season. You know, they oversold me a little bit. Going into this season, they said, "Oh, every episode's gonna be a hard home." You know,
Right.
I'm like, this is not a hard home.
No, it was not.
It's not close to it, but it was good. It set up a lot of stuff.
I mean, it does have an
a lot of
insane
stuff.
body count. It does have an insane body count.
Yeah, and I mean, some of the stuff was just plain awesome. Like the Arya scene was great, and then we go over to see the white giants.
Yeah.
That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait for those things to get into action. And we've had all this discussion like, oh, is Bran gonna bring down the wall, right?
Uh-huh.
They seem to just gloss right the fuck over that.
Right.
It surprised me. There was
Right.
no talk of it at all.
Right.
Look, does it matter when you got a bunch of undead giants pounding on it anyway?
I don't know. And no one to guard the walls. I mean, that was, I guess, what John was trying to take care of there in his wartime meeting at the North.
And some pretty nasty visions for the Hound.
Yeah.
He sees not good things happening at the wall.
Yeah. Well, not just the wall. Eastwatch by the Sea. They talk about the castle all the way, which is the one that is the one close to the Hardhome that John's worried about. I'm glad you mentioned that because I too was like, this is a solid opener for your standard season of Game of Thrones, but like it's also 1/7 of everything we're going to get this year. So I guess I was surprised that none of the antagonists actually came into contact this episode.
Yeah, the other thing that surprised me is the Jaime-Cersei relationship still seems just as strong as ever. That really shocks me coming out of last season.
Yeah.
What we know about Jaime and Cersei's actions here.
Yeah, especially with Jaime like mugging behind the throne as Euron's hitting on his sister lady. He's like, ooh, and I'm like, come on, Jaime, come on.
Apparently, Euron over the break like lost a bunch of weight and also joined a goth rock band from the 90s. I don't know what kind of fucking pants he's wearing, but it's typo negative all the way.
Yeah, he's guy liner and some black nail polish away from being the lead singer of Nine Inch Nails.
Being the lead in like Queen of the Damned. Pretty much.
Well, that's appropriate for someone courting Cersei.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
She might be the Queen of the Damned.
She is. She's the damned queen. There's no possible way that she gets out of any. Like, I don't know. Maybe she'll live this season. But there's no way she makes it out of the story without reaping a healthy dose of what she's sown, which is shit. Which, by the way, so what did you think of Sansa and John? What did you think of? Did you? Okay, because I found myself agreeing with John as far as the form, like, maybe not question my decisions right in front of everybody, but I also kind of find myself agreeing with Sansa as far as function. Like, maybe you should punish the houses that betrayed you and give their lands and titles to somebody else.
Yeah, I thought.
Like, what the hell? What kind of message are you sending to your people?
Yeah, you're. Well, I mean, if Little John had been there.
Yeah.
It would have gone way different. The MC.
What? He just been it's like little John, please rise. What? It had taken like 30 minutes just in that one scene.
But if Little John Umber had been there, it would have been very different, right? He would have killed Little
The Small John, yeah, sure.
Small John, is that his name?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Young John, Young Jeezy.
Young Jeezy, uh-huh.
If he had been there, he would have killed him, right, for his betrayal. But I think he makes a valid point too. Like, okay, so like, is it the actions of the house or is the actions of one person that he's
Yeah,
going to punish? And I think he couldn't punish the actions of that person; they were already dead.
right.
So,
And as Sansa pointed out, dead and fighting your armies.
right, right.
I mean, it's yeah. I mean,
And that's the reward, I guess, to people who fight for him in other ways.
right. Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Like, give them, the Red Keep or something.
No,
Give them Casterly Rock when he finally takes it.
yeah, I just feel like that Sansa's got some points there, and maybe John would do well to listen to. And the thing is, like, I mean, I talked a lot about in the preview podcast. Like, I really hope we don't see a Sansa and John betrayal, standoff, schism. And I feel like that they're at least hinting towards that. Now, that might be some just like to just to keep us fans a Twitter on Twitter. But I saw a little bit more conflict there than I was supposing. I also like the fact that Tormund is still hot for Brienne, and Brienne still has no fucking clue what to do with it.
I think Tormund just wants to fight Brienne.
Me,
Honestly, he's so
fight,
jealous
fuck,
of
whatever.
her
Like,
god.
right.
Yeah, I think maybe he equivocates
Mm-hmm.
those two things.
Mm-hmm.
That's the word for it.
I don't know. I don't think Brienne has ever been on the other end of like I don't think like she's wanted men before. Like she really had this torch for Renly Baratheon.
Right.
I don't know that she's ever been courted before. Like in jest, plenty of times to her humiliation. But like the idea of like what do I do if a man likes me? I don't know if she's equipped for that. But I do find it very entertaining.
Yeah, it's good watching.
Yeah, it's very good watching.
You know what is not good watching?
What's that?
Sam cleaning up all that shit.
Dude,
I just about got sick.
the shit montage, especially like I like I had this roller coaster of emotions. Like I'm like, okay, this is done, and then it just kept on going. I'm like, all right, I'm back on board.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there was a little bit of I don't know, what do they call it, a stomp? Where they were like making music with the chamber pots and Sam's retching and this plus like the shit and the stew were running together, and it's like yeah. And then I don't know because like I literally just came right over here after I got done watching the show, but I think the Archmaester that Sam was speaking to is played by the same guy that plays Professor Slugworth, I think is his name on Harry Potter. He transforms into a sofa. Jim Broadbent, I think, is his name, which is interesting. So I make this is a little meta, but anytime they cast like a fairly well-known and recognizable name, I think, oh, this guy's going to be a major player in this season. And it's interesting because he didn't shut the door on Sam for his forbidden request, but he also didn't grant them. And then of course Sam just he steals the keys and serves himself. So.
Right. It felt very much like the Citadel has this Winter cried wolf too many times sort of attitude about Winter. Like, oh, they always say it's going to be the end.
Well, I mean, he's like what he said is he's right. Like, they said when
No,
egg.
he's not, right?
Right, exactly. But like, these guys are men of science, and that's the thing. Like, oh, well, you thought World War I was going to be in, then World War II is going to be in, then fucking the Cold War is going to be in, and we're still here.
Yeah.
Did you find that the thing I found was that Sam's discovery of the mother lode of dragon glass on Dragonstone was a bit anticlimactic? Surely that's not the only thing he's going to discover there.
Yep.
Because if so, like, if that's the first of all, it's the first episode of season 7. No fucking way. Second of all, like Stan and the damn show told us this. Stannis told us this like 2 seasons ago.
Right.
So this isn't new information.
Yeah, I'm with you. That did not feel like the big reveal I've been waiting for.
Right. So he's got to be like again with Jim Broadbent up there dissecting dudes and weighing livers, and the fact that he just got access. There's got to be something else there, and I'm not sure. My bet was that he's going to discover the formula for Valyrian steel or whatever, because it does seem like that is a major plot point this season. We need an ace up our sleeve for the White Walkers, and we know that Obsidian does it. The other thing that we as show watchers know is that Valyrian steel does it. So I guess that would be a nice get for Sam if he discovers this big cache of dragon glass, which and then discovers the formula for Valyrian steel. Problem: Daenerys just landed on Dragonstone.
Yeah.
She has no idea anything up north is happening.
Yeah, I feel like that raven that Sam sends is meant to push John toward Danny.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, big cash and Dragonstone.
And that's the other thing is like I was listening to the Ringer podcast, The Watch with Andy and Chris, and they were talking about like one of the things they're excited about is you think about how many big names in Game of Thrones have never actually had scenes together.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if Hank and Walt had not met until the sex, but Daenerys and John never met, never had scenes together. That's like an exciting possibility. And I feel like Sam sending that Raven is going to start that path to start to converge.
Yeah, seems like it.
Yeah.
The logical conclusion. How'd you feel about the scene with Danny returning home?
I thought it would. See, I mean, I'm always wondering. Like I leaned over my wife when we were watching on the couch. I'm like, is Emilia Clarke actually good?
Okay.
Because I've fought with that since season 1. Like I think she's really good at some things, but like she's really a blank canvas in this episode where it's like she's got this vacant expression as she lands on the island and touches the soil and looks at the throne. And I guess like I'm pinning my expectations and my thoughts onto her, but like I don't know, expecting a little bit more emotion.
I think I was expecting a little more resistance, honestly. Like, I didn't expect her to just come to Westeros and land and have a castle.
I guess that's true.
I expected her to have to take something.
Right.
But she didn't, and so when she landed, to me, it rang like the smallest bit hollow, even though I got caught up in the moment, too.
It is a bit. You're right. That's like the second kind of.
Swelling.
Yeah.
But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I wish there was some kind of resistance.
Right, like didn't Stannis leave a Castilian or something to like?
Or I mean, like Jaime knew they were going to be over there. I wish timing it
right.
He could have provided some resistance.
Right. Yeah.
But it didn't happen.
No, I feel you on that. Although I thought it was a fairly good hammer to have her sitting there at the, especially as a book reader, and you're looking at like this is the table that her great grandfather Aegon the Conqueror carved his master vision of one united Westeros with no borders, and she's sitting at the head of it, and she's got her counselors aside, and she's like, "Shall we begin?" That was pretty good, and I was kind of shocked because I guess I wasn't ready for the episode to be over. I thought it felt like it was about a 30-minute long episode, but sure enough, it was an hour.
Oh, and that scene is even better than that because she walks into the throne room.
Right.
She walks right past the throne.
Right.
She doesn't sit down like we all expect her to.
Right.
Which
do you think that's some foreshadowing?
I think maybe you're right. Like I'm starting to think more about your theory that she's the breaking the wheel means no more rulers.
Right.
In Westeros in the typical like king
right.
queen kind of way.
Right, and not just that, but also foreshadowing the fact that because I that was one of my questions, like when her and Jon inevitably meet or they exchange ravens, and Jon's like, "Hey, yo, cool for conquering, but hey, we got these ice zombies and ice giants. We could use some fire-breathing dragons up here." Yeah. I feel like that leads credence to the fact that she is not overly concerned with the Iron Throne so much as like taking care of business, whatever that business may be. So I felt good about that. Now, did you get the pathos of the Hound when he was going up to the little farmer's croft? Because I won. Oh gosh, because see, I literally got home, flipped on the because I ran way late. It took me way longer than I thought to float down this fucking river. I took my family on this river float adventure. I came home, I like roared into my driveway. I'm soaking wet. I rip off my trunks. I throw on some pajama pants. I sit down, and it's literally the HBO static. I'm like, yes, I didn't miss anything. But I missed all the previously on. So you got the whole.
They did, yeah. They showed that scene where he killed the guy and stole the silver.
Right.
When he was traveling with Arya. So yeah, that made perfect sense.
So I thought that was kind of neat. The fact that he's like, oh, these people don't want to be bothered. But then it also seems like the Lord of Light is he's granting the Hound visions the way he would Melisandre or any of the other. That's interesting.
That surprised me a little bit. And I think it surprised Beric as well.
Well, also like they set up like some really good questions. Like, why is Beric special? What is the Lord of Light want him to do?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I think that scene did really well to show how far the Hound has come, right? From being the villain to
Right.
someone you can root for, and
Right.
someone who
I did it.
feels guilt and understands that he's messed up.
Although it does kind of, if I take my own medicine, I talked a lot about on the second preview podcast about how I'm kind of selling my Jamie redemption shares short, because I feel like at the end of the day he has to answer for his crimes, right? Like you can't just be like, oh well, little light incest with the sister and a kid gets in the way, throw him out the window, no biggie. You got your arm cut off. You had some nice moments in the hot tub with Brienne. You're cool now. The Hound's committed a lot of crimes too, like and purely of not something in desperate need. He just did it. Like he just stole the money from that family. I don't know. Like I'm not sure how I feel about the shares of the Hound right now. I'm not sure if I'm buying. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm buying or I'm selling. What did you think? So how comfortable are you? How comfortable are you with the fact that Ed Sheeran is canonically a Game of Thrones character now? You don't know who Ed Sheeran is? He's the singer songwriter of our generation, of somebody's generation. He was the Lannister singing and the camera kept.
Was he? Okay.
And
I was gonna say that guy's a pretty good singer.
And the camera kept on like, hey, Ed Sheeran, Ed Sheeran.
I don't think I've ever heard it pronounced.
Is it Sheeran? It might be, because first of all, I can't pronounce shit.
Excuse me when you said it, but
Ed
I
Sheeran.
don't know that I've ever heard it pronounced.
All right. So here's and 9 times out of 10, if I only hear or if I only read if I only read a word, I'll mispronounce it. So
here's the thing: I don't know enough about the guy. I don't think I've ever heard his music.
really, you have. You can't have lived the last 5 years without.
Right, but I couldn't name one of his songs, so I'm cool with it.
All right. He seems like he's got a baller life. Like he's got this scar on his cheek now that I guess he was partying with like one of the royal family members, and their sword came off the wall, and there was some dueling, and he got his face slit open by a sword from a prince. Like that's pretty cool. Maybe he is a Game of Thrones character. That sounds like something that Ed of House Sheeran would do. Yeah. Okay. What else do we want to talk about? I feel like we've covered it. What do you think that we're gonna start the next episode with Arya have gutted all those dudes? Because I felt like this was Arya starting to rekindle her humanity. Like not all Lannisters. Like you've had a run of luck with these Lannisters, but these are just kids that were no different from you and have a fairly smart take on the world. Are you really going to gut these guys like a fish? On the other hand, it wouldn't shock me if we start a next episode and they're all strung up in the trees like a predator, and she's gutted them and she's whistling the Rains of Castamere as she goes on to King's Landing.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder how far they're going to go with trying to. I feel like it's a fake out for the audience.
Yeah.
It's going to be like suddenly this wholesome kid again.
No.
That's in her past. I think they might be trying to fake us out a little bit with that. So I don't know how far they're going to go with it, but it's not working on me. It's not working.
No, yeah, I mean she killed like 100 Freys this episode. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I saw the poison coming. I did not actually see the Arya ripping the Walder Frey skin off.
Do you think? Do you think she saved Walder Frey's wife just to deliver the message?
That's probably one reason, but she probably also views them as innocents.
Yeah. And then,
I don't know that she needs to kill these innocent people.
and I guess that's kind of one of the things I'm low key hoping for the end of Game of Thrones is the Arya finds some peace.
Yeah.
Because she didn't have a chance, man. She was literally thrown to the wolves.
She was.
And like a lot of people, it's funny because there's this tension in the audience where like it's really cool to see Arya kicking ass, but then you think this is a very damaged little girl who is spending her humanity to do these things.
Littlefinger's gonna come up to her. But are you happy?
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Are you happy, Littlefinger? Are you anything? Jesus Christ. I won't be happy till he's in the ground. How many episodes do you think it's going to take for him to get there?
The same number of episodes it takes Arya to get to it. Seriously, Arya's got to kill him.
It sounds like she said that's the other shocker thing is that I thought that we were going to get a Stark reunion in Winterfell. That was one of the things I was really looking forward to. And The preseason cast, like I thought that she would at least stop by Winterfell, and and Bran would get there about the same time, and we'd have the four Stark. Four Stark children. I guess Jon still is a Stark, even if he's a Targaryen too. And everything would be cool.
No, I mean her going to King's Landing doesn't really
Yeah.
bode well for my Littlefinger face theory.
Yeah. Did you see? So, I don't want to talk about it now. We'll save that for the spoiler cast. But did you see the very short preview, but intriguing preview for next week?
No, I did not.
All right. Well, we'll have to watch that before we do our spoiler cast on Friday because I got a whole a can full of gas to talk about just off the 15-second preview that they had. So yeah.
That's about all I got for the instant take. We're gonna obviously talk a lot more in depth about this.
Yes.
Recap on Tuesday. So tune in for that if you're interested.
And I probably don't have to tell you this, but also if you got any hot takes, send it to Game of Thrones at baldmove.com. There's also a forum thread that you can discuss with your fellow fans. And if you want to keep up with all the stuff we're doing, baldmove.com is a great resource, but also we are on social media, facebook.com/baldmove and Twitter @baldmove. It has started. Winter's here. And that's the other cool thing I thought, that winter's manifestly, like, maybe not so much in King's Landing, but even in Old Town, like, you can tell that, like, it's a little more overcast. It's turning it's turning into Cold Town. That's right. The silver bullet is pulled into station. Coors Light for everybody. That's the white. That would be a pretty funny Super Bowl commercial. Like everybody's chilling and Westeros, and then the Night King comes in on the silver bullet and woo woo, and then the ice and wind starts swirling around, and yeah, come on, man, come on, make Super Bowl commercials great again. All right, well, we'll see you Tuesday, and until then, I'm Aaron. See you later.